Good afternoon, everyone. Just a quick one. I will be given a couple of minutes, probably second, to allow you guys to come in before we start the business of the day. But even as you guys keep coming in, how is the day going? Those on break, those at home, working from home remotely, how has it been? How is the weather? The weather is unpredictable these days, sometimes cold, sometimes chill, sometimes a little bit sunny. I can see from my attendees list a couple of names that I am familiar with. You guys are welcome on board once again. And I think I'll just take it off from here. Good afternoon and welcome. For those of you guys that are joining us for the first time, my name is Garba Esahaya, and I'm the training coordinator for the Temple Small Business Development Center. The Temple Small Business Development Center help small businesses start and grow. We offer free one-on-one consulting and a variety of low to low cost webinars. We are part of the nationally accredited network of the Small Business Development Centers, which has over 1,000 networks across the United States. We are here this afternoon for a webinar on LinkedIn business for entrepreneurs. A copy of the PowerPoint and a link to the recording will be sent to all the attendees. Being a webinar, all the attendees have been muted. However, we always encourage you guys to drop your question on the Q&A or the chat box. Today is indeed a good day. The reason is because today happens to be the first day I am actually moderating an event for Cassandra. Without further ado, please allow me to welcome her on board, even as she takes over the floor for the presentation. Cassandra, you are welcome.
Thanks, Garba. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for attending today. So first, I want to just briefly talk a little bit about Temple. Garba already went over this some, but I did want to say who we are, how we're funded. So currently there's about 16 SBDCs in Pennsylvania, but SBDCs are the Small Business Development Centers are located throughout the country. Here we provide one-on-one consulting, business education programming, workshops, and clinics like the one that you're on today. And we have lots of resources that we can share with you as a small business owner or entrepreneur, and even more once you get connected with us. So if you'd like to get connected with a consultant, please reach out to us. All our contact information will be shared at the end of the PowerPoint too. And this PowerPoint will be sent to you at the end as well. Also the recording. We're also funded, just kind of how we're funded by the SBA, Small Business Administration, the Department of Community and Economic Development at the state level, and then we're also funded by Temple University. So that's a little bit about us. Here's a little bit about me. So my background has been consulting the past couple years, and then specializing in SEO, specifically social media and digital marketing. Before that, I worked in property management, managing different apartment communities for 5 years prior. I have a business degree, both in my bachelor's and master's. And in general, if you have any questions about our Temple SBDC, how it's a center of excellence in digital services, any of our training programs, or just digital marketing in general, please reach out. Again, our contact information will be listed on this PowerPoint at the end too. And there will be times that I stop for questions as well. So feel free to put your questions in the chat. Garbo will be monitoring that. All right, so here's our agenda. First, we will just give a general intro to LinkedIn and its benefits, and then how to get started on LinkedIn. This is a basics webinar for LinkedIn, so nice and basic starting the very beginning. Then we will get into specifically how to use LinkedIn for business. We will talk about after that LinkedIn marketing and how to use it for marketing and networking. And then we'll end with next steps. What are things to learn after this presentation and more classes and workshops that we offer. And we'll also have some time for Q&A, but I'll stop a couple times through the presentation to answer questions too. All right, so before we can answer what LinkedIn is, I think we need to look at what is social media. So social media is a computer or internet-based technology that facilitates sharing ideas and information You've probably heard of the various platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and others. You can see some of them here on the screen. These can all be used to virtually network with other people and network with other businesses. Both are on social media. Now, what's great about social media for businesses in particular is that it allows you to share content and information about your business with a large number of people that you might not be able to reach otherwise. Currently, there's over 3 billion social media users on social media today. Also, another great thing is that with social media, there's the ability to network and form communities that are based around the specific interest of your business or maybe the products or services. So being able to make those communities based on the interest in your business or products and services is very helpful with social media. Now, all these platforms, all these social media platforms can be managed and run through a computer, your phone, a tablet, all of those. Now, LinkedIn in particular, the social media platform we're talking about today, is just one of these. And we do have webinars for the others as well that we offer throughout the year. So if you're interested, you can always go to our website and look for those others if you're interested in learning more about any of these platforms. So LinkedIn, what is it? LinkedIn is a platform that's really geared towards businesses and professionals, whereas other social media platforms are more personal in nature. LinkedIn offers that in a more professional sense. It's a place to build your professional network through networking, sharing content that's related to your career in other industries that you're involved with. LinkedIn is also a place where you can showcase your professional story. So maybe putting career milestones like promotions or career changes, also business milestones and successes. If you have a business page, you can also showcase your skills by listing achievements, work that you've done, partnerships that you've contributed to. So the point of building up your personal and business profile is essentially to help people determine that people that are on LinkedIn determine if maybe you would be a good person to work with, or maybe you'd be a good person to hire, or maybe you'd be a good business to contract with. So those are some of the reasons that it's good to have a LinkedIn and some of the purposes behind having a LinkedIn. Now, while LinkedIn is important for business, is really because you can use it to build a network, build professional credibility, which can in turn into sales. Understanding LinkedIn. Okay, so first let's think, why would you want to be on LinkedIn? Well, there's over 260 million monthly users, and there's tons of college students on there looking for jobs, professional organizations that you can connect with, lots of hiring personnel, and tons of businesses. So pretty much everyone is on here for different professional reasons or goals. For example, let's look at Chase Bank. So Chase Bank, they have a business profile page where they post important industry content and news. Chase employees or Chase Bank employees also would maybe have their own personal profiles where they post their own personal successes and network with people. A Chase Bank HR rep might have their own personal page that they use to seek out candidates for Chase. And so these profiles can all be used differently for various professional reasons, and it's a great place for you to be on for your professional career, but also for your business career. Now, LinkedIn is also an international platform that you can use. LinkedIn has one of the highest percentages of international users and international engagement. So if your business is international or considering going international, LinkedIn can help in making connections. 94% of recruiters actually use LinkedIn as well. to vet not only candidates, but also to vet businesses for contracts. So that's another good reason for using it for your business is those recruiters use LinkedIn not just to vet out individual candidates, but also businesses for contracts. And lastly, another stat is that there are 55 million businesses that are already on LinkedIn. That number might have changed a little more to be more recently, but this just shows how many businesses are finding good use out of it. Now I want to switch over to this image on the right. Now, don't try to read all the little numbers on there. I'll explain it, but it's something you can always look back at later because you will receive this PowerPoint. But looking at the demographics, in looking at the percentage of men and women, there's almost an even split with a slightly higher percentage of male users. But if you're trying to get connected with men or women, there are both on this platform. Looking at age, there's a healthy number of users in every category and age range. That's of working age. Typically, users on LinkedIn are of at least working age. Now, there is a drop off in users that are ages 55, 65 plus. And that's because that's like the retirement-ish age. And so there is a drop off in that age range. So maybe if your customers or business partners are predominantly in that age range, then you might want to consider if LinkedIn is the best profile for you because you won't reach that audience quite as much. Also, if you are looking at maybe income range and education, there are people from pretty much every income level on LinkedIn and every education level on LinkedIn. However, there are a significant amount of people with higher education on LinkedIn, which is especially great if you're a small business that's looking to hire. Maybe you're looking to hire those with a certain level of education. Well, LinkedIn has a lot of candidates for you in that realm. Now, lastly, looking at location, when you look at suburban versus urban versus rural areas, there are more users living in suburban and urban locations that use LinkedIn. So if you are in a rural area and most of your users or customers are in a rural area, then you might want to consider if LinkedIn is as useful for you or not. You do always want to consider before getting on any social media platform if getting on that platform is useful for you or not. So consider, are your customers on that platform already or not? And so looking at these demographics and considering the demographics that are on LinkedIn versus the demographics of your current customer base will help to decide, should I be on LinkedIn or not? And I just want to check. So I did notice there was one question in the chat. What is the difference between a business profile and a personal one? I'm actually going to go into that a little later in the presentation. So I'll wait just maybe till later in the presentation because I will go through both of them. Let me just check. I did see that. Okay. So we will move on. So I want to give some stats and some information on the benefits of LinkedIn and how it could help you. So one in particular is that it's really helpful for not only B2B businesses, but also B2C businesses. So for example, say that a hospital is looking to contract out some construction on their building, they would be more likely to look on LinkedIn at some of their professional contacts rather than looking on Facebook or Instagram for their contacts there. The professional aspect of LinkedIn really makes it useful for that. LinkedIn has also developed as a great place for B2B companies to network and connect and usually end up getting more sales. Companies usually end up getting more sales through it than some of the other social media platforms. And so that professionability is one of those reasons why. Now, some other reasons LinkedIn is great for your business. Starting over here on the right, kind of want to just go through some of those items, is that LinkedIn is the most trusted social media network in the US. So just by having a LinkedIn profile for your business can appear more professional and more trustworthy. It also helps you, or it also allows you to create content and updates. It has higher SEO benefits. And just real quick, SEO stands for search engine optimization. And what that means basically is that if someone is trying to find you on Google and you have good SEO or good search engine optimization, then you are more easily found on Google when people search for you there. LinkedIn helps to boost this. So LinkedIn helps to improve or boost your SEO. And LinkedIn is also easier to get engagement on rather than, say, Facebook or Instagram. LinkedIn is a very engaged network, and there's oftentimes more capability of, or more chance that people will comment and like your posts than maybe on Facebook. Now, here's some other stats too that can help show why it can be so beneficial to businesses, especially B2B businesses. So 51% of companies acquired a B2C customer through LinkedIn. Also, 93% of B2B marketers consider LinkedIn to be the most effective in generating leads. LinkedIn is also responsible for 64% of all visits from social media channels to corporate websites. 80% of LinkedIn members want to connect with companies to enhance their decision-making. 50% of LinkedIn members report that they are more likely to buy from a company that they engage with on LinkedIn. And then the last stat that I want to share is that LinkedIn generates more leads for B2B companies than Facebook, Twitter, or blogging individually. So those are some great stats from LinkedIn on the Neil Patel website that can just goes to show how beneficial it can be for B2B companies, but also B2C companies. After all that B2B talk, you may be wondering, well, is LinkedIn better for B2B, which is business to business, or B2C, business to consumer businesses? The answer is both. If you're seeking to do any of these, LinkedIn is a good choice for both businesses. If you're wanting to establish your personal or professional brand, want to find a job or a business collaborator, wanting to generate leads for your B2B business or your B2C business, it's a great tool either way, or for any of these. Now, if you're a business owner or an individual looking to gain more business knowledge from peers and professionals, this is also a great place to find support for businesses or for startup projects. So if you have a startup and you're looking to find connections that can help you grow that startup professionally, this is also a great location for that. Currently, just on the right, this orange graph is showing that sorry, I have a little cough. LinkedIn remains the most used social media platform for organic and paid B2B marketing activities. Social media is the most common channel for B2B marketers for distributing organic content. And of those, LinkedIn ranked as the #1. So earlier, someone asked, what does a personal account look like versus a business account? We're going to start getting into that a little now. So this is what a personal LinkedIn account looks like. This is mine with LinkedIn. And I will also do a short live demonstration of this too. So not just the static picture, I'll get to that as well. With LinkedIn, you can have a personal account and you can have a business account. As you can see here, you can enter your name, what you prefer to be called, your title or job role. You can list the area that you live, your employer, the schools that you attended. Now you can also see a profile picture, and you can see a cover photo. Now you do want to make sure that the profile picture you upload is a professional one. So maybe don't use the same one that you use on your Facebook page. You'd want to use a more professional one. Now, the background here that I have is a path. And the reason I chose that is because my role as a consultant is to help business owners along a path to grow their business. So usually the cover photo is used in relation to the industry or type of work that you do. This is what a business page looks like. It looks very similar in setup. One difference is that you'll see the profile picture is a square and a personal picture is a circle. That's really the only visual difference, but there's different information. Obviously, you want to make the information relevant to your business, not yourself. So here, it has a link to the business website. That's something you can put here that's different to help people that go visit the page to get connected to your website. It also offers several tabs to add more information about the company, like jobs that are available, events that are upcoming that you have going on, employees that work there that are connected on LinkedIn. So having a business account allows you to do many more things and put many more things on it, like post open positions for your business, connect with potential employees. You can post, like I said, important events that are upcoming with your business, and people sign up for it on LinkedIn. Also, having that link button to your website is very helpful for allowing users to quickly and easily gain access or connect to your website and learn more about you. One thing about the business account is that you cannot have a business account without actually having a personal account first. You do have to first get a personal account in order to get a business account. But that's okay. It is good to have a personal one and utilize that for your own professional development and networking, but also it's a means for inviting others to follow your business page. So say someone is connected with you on LinkedIn, but not your business page. Well, you can then tell them about your business page and invite them to follow it as well. And I will go through both of these in a live demonstration too. But first, I'm going to take a pause, see if there's any more questions. Let's see, are business LinkedIn pages accessible to non-subscribers of LinkedIn from a web search? You can look up those. You can get a business page for free. You don't have to like pay anything to get a business page. You can pay extra to get some different functions. I'm not quite sure if that's what you're asking or not, but you don't have to like pay a subscription essentially to have a business page. And I think we might have all the questions. All right. So how to get started on LinkedIn. Before you get started, you need to consider, is LinkedIn right for you? So one thing I want to highlight is if you're a solo entrepreneur, this could be a really good platform for you. So for example, if you're a consultant or a freelancer or a voice coach or a career coach or anyone who is a solo entrepreneur, there are tons of people on LinkedIn that can help boost that you can connect with here, and having your professional profile and the business profile can be very beneficial. But if you are a solo entrepreneur, it can be especially beneficial for you. The chart on the right shows some of the top industries that people are involved in for as a solo entrepreneur. So arts and design, media and communication, business consulting, engineering, and education. Those are some of the top ones for solo entrepreneurs and freelancers. Now, also though, on the left, it shows industries in general, whether you're a solo entrepreneur or company that are using LinkedIn. So there's a very wide range, but leading the pack are higher education, information technology and services, financial services, and retail. So as you can see, this can help you decide that if you want to be on LinkedIn or not, and if it is right for you. Another useful tool would be to simply look on some of your competitors' sites and see if they have a LinkedIn. And if they have a LinkedIn and they're finding use out of it, then maybe it would also be good for you to be on it as well. So let's say you decide you do want a LinkedIn profile. You find out it's right for you. Here's a step-by-step guide to walk you through setting one up. There's also hyperlinks on here so that you can click what is blue in the hyperlinks to troubleshoot some common issues. Like I said, you'll be getting this PowerPoint, so you can take this home and you can work through it at your own pace as well. This image on the right will show you what it looks like when you first sign up. And as you can see, it will prompt you through a lot of the things to fill out, like, do you want to add your photo? Do you want to connect with people? It'll even recommend people for you to connect with based on what you enter. So if you enter that you went to a certain school, it might recommend people to connect with that went to that same school or the same company that you work for. It might recommend people for that. So it does a good job of walking you through this as well. I've also included some of the first steps and things that you'll want to fill out on your profile to get your personal profile looking good. Now you may wonder, why do I need to worry about my personal profile if really the only reason I'm making it is so I can get a business profile set up? Well, if people know that you own a business, they may also look at your personal profile. And so you want to make sure that it is also set up to be professional and clean and fully filled out as well, or else that could reflect poorly on their opinion of your business. Also, if you're a solo entrepreneur, for example, then you want to make sure that your personal page looks good as well as your business page, because you are representing the business. You are essentially the face of the business. Another good reason to have your personal profile looking professional is that you can use it to promote your business profile. For example, this guy on the right is a chef. He can post pictures of events that he's catered to and some of the culinary creations he's made. He has this beautiful cover photo of the delicious foods that he's cooked. And so having it look sharp can really be beneficial, not only for your professional look, but for your business's professional look as well. So just real quickly, some of the things that you want to do are upload a professional photo. Remember, not your Facebook profile photo, but a professional one. 2, you want to add your industry and location. This can help with people locating you on LinkedIn because people can search by location and search by industry on LinkedIn. So you want to make sure to add this. 3, customize your URL. This is where you can make a URL for your profile and make it look more clean and more professional, so that instead of having linkedin.com with a bunch of numbers after it, you can have linkedin.com/your name, and it looks really professional and clean. I'll actually show you where to do this in the next couple of slides as well. But for the most part for this, you just follow the prompts with LinkedIn and it will prompt you to fill out all this information. All right, so when you make a profile, you get here and you want to make sure to put a country. You don't have to put a more specific region if you don't want to, but it will require you at least put a country. If you do service a certain area, say you are a empanada restaurant in Philadelphia, you would want to put Philadelphia so that people can find you. It will also make you select an industry. You want to make sure to put this in so people can find you if they're searching by industry as well. And this information is easy to come back and change. So if you wanted to redo this or edit this later, you simply click on the pencil that's in the top right, and you can come back and easily change this if needed. Next, if you want to change the URL, like I mentioned, to a custom one, over here on the right, at the top right, where you see this orange arrow, it will say edit public profile and URL. And it will let you enter your name instead of that list of random numbers. And so that helps you to create a custom URL. And this is the same thing for a business page. You can do the same thing for your business page, and it looks really sharp. Now, don't try to read all this. So as you scroll down and you continue filling things out, one of the things that you can add is a summary or an about section. Clifford, as you can see, wrote a very long one, but you don't have to make yours this long. Most people just write a paragraph or maybe a few short bullet points that state who they are, what they're seeking to get out of LinkedIn. For example, personal page might say, hi, my name is so-and-so. I have 5 years of experience in SEO, search engine, or SEO, social media and digital marketing, and seeking to help small businesses in improving their websites. If maybe you're a company, you would write it a little differently, but it's the same idea. So maybe if you're a company, you'd say, hi, I am Tom, owner of XYZ Inc., and I'm seeking qualified individuals to lead our company in these areas if you are, maybe hiring at that point. You can also write a summary section on your business page about your company describing like what you do, what you sell, or services you offer. You don't have to make it, advertisement for employees. Now, another section that you want to fill out on your personal page is your experience or jobs that you have had in the past. Those things will be prompted to you when you go through the LinkedIn setup as well. So next, you will want to add some skills and endorsements. So you can add some skills either by selecting ones that are pre-populated or typing ones in. You can also request that people endorse your skills. So someone can say like, hey, Cassie is really good in Microsoft Office, so I'm going to endorse her for that skill. And then that will then pop up on your LinkedIn. On the right here, you can see you can enter the education or where you went to school for various degrees. Now let's see how it looks. I do want to just do a brief live intro. So let me exit out of this. And we can go to my LinkedIn. So share my screen one more time. All right. Garba, can you see my screen okay?
Yes, please.
Okay. So for example, if I want to go over here on the left and look at my personal profile, I can see here's my personal profile. And then underneath here's a business profile. I also work for the University of Pittsburgh SBDC. So you can see both your profiles line up here on the left. And I can click on my profile and I can see here's my name, what I prefer to be called, my job role, the region that I work in, my connections or the people that I have connected to me on LinkedIn. And then you can easily edit this information. If you look on the right, all of these have little pencils next to them, so you can easily edit that. As you scroll down, you can see some more of that job experience that you'll fill out. You can see your education. You can also add volunteering, things that you do other than your work, and skills that you have. So that's what a personal page looks like. Now this is the business page right below it. Now this business page, there we go, that's better, looks very similar. It's kind of set up the same way. You have the name of your business. You can put your industry right below it. You can put the location that you service. And it shows all your activity and all your posts. So very similar. You can actually also see on the left here, there's a section called analytics, which I will talk about later. But on the left, you can see like how many unique visitors came to your page, how many new followers you have, how many impressions or people looked and viewed your posts. And again, you can edit this very similarly using the buttons where it says edit page and the pencil as well. Now let me go back to the PowerPoint. All right. Now I want to take, all right, there we go. Now we're back. So here's another screenshot of what I just went through. I don't think we need to go through that since I just went through the live portion of it. Now there are a couple buttons that I wanted to show too, and I thought this might be helpful for you to have in the PowerPoint later when you're looking around for it. At the top of your page, you'll see where it says My Network. That's where you can click to see who's connected with you already or where some of those suggested connections are. So when I mentioned earlier that LinkedIn would give you some suggested connections or people to connect with, that's where you can see them as well. Now, there is a list here of people who have maybe tried to connect with you as well. So you can see there's some people listed here that you can either click ignore or accept and connect with them as well. Next to the My Network button that's at the top of the page in the blue banner, there's a job section. That's where you can look for open jobs. Next to that tab is messaging, where you can look at past messages or make new messages. Next to that button is notifications. That's where you can see all your notifications, like if someone commented on a post or liked a post. And then next to that is another way to get to your home profile. Now, as you scroll down your LinkedIn newsfeed, you can see groups that you're a part of on the left-hand side. I definitely recommend being part of groups related to your business or your industry on LinkedIn. For example, if you're a new business owner, maybe a professional group for small business owners would be a great group to get involved with. Or maybe if you're an HR consultant, becoming part of the LinkedIn HR group could be very helpful. You can see relevant articles and news related to your industry there. You can also probably make some good connections on it too. You can also add upcoming events. And if you have those, they would show up here on the left-hand side as well. You can also start following hashtags. If you started following some hashtags, those would also show up in the left-hand side. So that's how you kind of navigate around LinkedIn. Now, what about posting? So when you start to make a post on the home screen, this is essentially what pops up. You'll have an image like this, and you can choose to add a photo to it. You can choose to add a video to it. You can choose to add an article to it. Those are all things you can do with a post. Now, on the right-hand side, you'll see what it looks like when you go to post. If you have your personal page and a business page, then it'll give you the option to post as yourself or post as your business, and you can select which one you prefer to post as. So that's the posting function. Now, with, actually, let me just go back and just take a look at the chat because I want to make sure. Oh, earlier, Sarah, you asked about that. Yes, if you're an external user, I think you can search for some of the businesses. You might not be able to see as much because you don't have a LinkedIn page though. And then in the chat on the left side, let's see. So I think this was the most recent one. Rosalie asked, how do you get both personal and professional pages lined up together? So if you have a personal page and you have a business page, once you create them both, they should show up on the left-hand side. You would first create the personal page, and then you would create the business page using the instructions that were in that slide, which you will get the PowerPoint with those instructions. And then Regina also asked, what if a person has a day job and a business? Which title should I put on the personal page? That's honestly a personal decision, I guess. If you have two jobs, maybe what you'd want to do is on your personal page, put, put that job that you have, but then if you own a business, then list on there, you can list just the business and you don't have to have that. But I think it does offer the ability on your personal page to note if you have multiple jobs. So I think if you just click when you add experience or job experience, if you click current, then you can actually have both on there. Ashley Smith asked, will you show us how to create a business page from your personal page? So those instructions are actually in the PowerPoint, so you can go through it on your own personal time. It is essentially like the same exact steps of filling out a personal page. It's just some different information, but it is like the same steps, and the links and the how-to steps are listed in the PowerPoint. If you do have problems later, of course, feel free to reach out. You can always get connected to us with information at the end, but please, yeah, try to do that. Okay, David, there is a free versus a paid version of LinkedIn, correct? Yes. If yes, what are the big differences and how important is it that we do the paid version? Good question. And the answer is it depends. So it depends on what you need, depends on how many jobs you might need to post, depends on if you want to see who all is viewing your profile. LinkedIn has a list of like what each plan offers, so it depends on what you need. If you're needing to post a large amount of jobs, maybe you do want to get a paid version, or if you're wanting to see, who all is viewing your profile, maybe you want to get a paid version for that. There are paid versions that come with a personal and with business. So you just want to look at the different plans to see which is better for you, but you can do a free for both a business and a personal. Good questions, guys. Okay. Now don't try to read all this. I give this as instructions for later so you can read through them. And I won't spend a ton of time on it, but there are a couple of fun things you can do with a LinkedIn account. You can link your LinkedIn account to Facebook or to Twitter. So you might have heard how you can connect different social media accounts so that when you create a post that you want to post on multiple platforms, for example, you can do it all from one place. So for example, say you want to post to both LinkedIn and Twitter at the same time without going into each platform. Well, by linking your accounts, you can actually post from LinkedIn and also have it post to Twitter. And there's instructions on the right here for doing that if you like. With Facebook, you can link your Facebook account to LinkedIn so that you can connect your contacts and add those contacts from your Facebook to your LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn, unfortunately, is limited in its ability to post to Facebook and LinkedIn at the same time. But you can still get connected, get the two connected so that you can get contacts from your Facebook. Now, like I said, I won't be spending like a ton of time on this, but I did want you to have that information in case you wanted to do that. Let's see. LinkedIn for your business. So let's move on to making your business account. Like I said, it's very similar to setting up a personal account, but there are a couple differences. So I want to go over those now so you're not surprised. The first thing you will see when you start to make your business account is this page. And it's just asking you to select what category you fall under. Most of you will fall under the small business category. There's not any difference in the functionality that these offer, but it can help with SEO just to make it easier to categorize you so it's easier for people to find you. So choose the one that you fall under. If you have a business with more than 200 employees, you can select medium to large business. For showcase page, probably none of you will use this one, but say you have a very large company that is showcasing a certain department or product, or you're maybe an educational institution, then you could select that one. Educational institution is more for like higher education, maybe high school, but not necessary for like preschool. If you're a preschool, I would still select small business. So like I said, most of you are going to fall under the small business category. But I did want to just briefly explain what the other three were so you didn't get to this page and get confused on which one to select. Here is the step-by-step instructions I mentioned on how to create a business page. You can use this and the hyperlinks to help. There are a couple hyperlinks on the showcase page and educational institution page that I talked about in case you have questions on those. But basically it's very similar to filling out a personal. This is the step-by-step how-to as well that you can refer to later. All right, so as the person who created the page, so say you create a business page and that business account is now linked to your personal page, you are what's called the page's super admin, or you're the one that can add or change all this information that's listed here, like your industry, company size, all the information you entered. You're the only one who can change this. Now you can add admin. So for example, you want someone else to kind of take over the posting for your business page and you want to give them access to do this. You can add admins to your page to help them manage the content and make posts for you without you having to do it yourself. So you can do that. There is a way to do this, and you can click on it here on this hyperlink here to help. Now, there's also a video on YouTube I know of that if you simply type in how to add an admin to LinkedIn, it's very easy to watch and a good resource. So I did show the business account already, but I do want to take this time still to stop and see if there's more questions. Are we going to receive a recording? Yes, you will receive a recording. It will be later. Oh no, I'm sorry that your screen's having trouble. But yes, you will receive that later. All right, there we go. So now you have a page. What do you do with it? So first, use it to connect with people. Ask people to follow your business page. You can use your personal page to connect those that you already know with your business page. Let them know you have one. Now, LinkedIn is careful about cold calls and soliciting. So if you try messaging a lot of people that aren't even a personal contact of yours and don't have any connection to LinkedIn might flag you for sending that out too many times. So definitely try to use your connections and your current connections to help showcase your business page. Utilizing a LinkedIn group, I talked about groups earlier. That's a really great way to reach out to more people that might be interested in your business and your products or services. Another way to utilize LinkedIn is to get endorsements. Ask people to endorse you for certain skills. Ask them to endorse your business for certain skills or leave recommendations. There is a section where they can leave recommendations. Another great way to use your business page is to post jobs. It's very helpful for helping small businesses to post job opportunities and find qualified candidates. Your business page is essentially like an online resume showcasing your business. You can add even your business card or a pamphlet or a capability statement here too. So you can really use it as your business's resume. The business account also allows you to look at analytics. I briefly showed that earlier. On the left side of the screen on your business page, you have analytics. What you can do with analytics is see how many people are coming to your business page, how many people are liking your business page posts, how many people are viewing the post but not liking it. You can look at your activity and content suggestions. LinkedIn has a lot of AI built into it that can help with providing suggestions for improving your page. They'll like notify you on ways to improve it. You can also use LinkedIn to view trending content. For example, if you own a preschool, you might want to see what content is trending in education and learning. This could be very useful to see what's going on in your industry, what kind of jobs people are looking for in your industry, what products and services they're looking for in that industry. So definitely spend some time familiarizing yourself with analytics and looking at trends that are in your industry. It can be very, very helpful. Okay, so now we've talked about how to get your account set up. And so now that we've talked about how to get your account set up and we've talked about social media, but before you get started marketing on social media and posting, it's a good idea to just write up a plan. So just like every other business strategy, using social media for your success in a small business is good to start with a plan. Without setting a plan and writing down some clear goals, you don't really have a clear path of what you're trying to achieve. And that means there's no way to measure results if you don't write down a plan. So take the time to write down and create a social media plan right up front. This helps to ensure that your social media efforts are supporting specific business goals. Another good thing to do is to help get started is to research competition. So maybe looking at some other businesses that are competitors of yours and look at their social media, how they're utilizing it, and if they're, succeeding at it. Also, for specifically to LinkedIn strategy, I just want to share some tips to keep in mind when you're posting on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn posts with images get 2 times higher engagement. Also, LinkedIn users are 20 times more likely to reshare a video post. So videos and images nowadays get a lot more engagement. Companies that actually, I think that's supposed to be 2, not 20. Sorry, 2 times, not 20. Companies that post weekly on LinkedIn see a 2 times higher engagement rate just by being consistent posting weekly. Companies with a complete active LinkedIn page see 5 times more page views. So it's really important to fill everything out and make sure that your page is complete. If it's not filled out, it kind of shows and it doesn't look as professional. So make sure you fill it all out. 80% of B2B content marketers use LinkedIn ads. And then lastly, hashtags have value on LinkedIn. So people do follow hashtags. So by using them in your posts, that can be very helpful for getting your post in front of others following that hashtag. So let's look at a couple different posts. And when you make a post, there are a ton of ways to make it more engaging. Here are just a couple examples. So the one on the left is the Temple SBDC trying to get people to attend an event. As you can see, some ways that they made this post more engaging is that they used emojis. They bring extra pop of color. This event also had a guest speaker, so they tagged the guest speaker. This helps to reach more people because then it can reach that guest speaker's connections as well. They also tagged the person who hosted the event. They used a few hashtags here as well. Now, the other example that's on the right here is a business that's posting about an award that was given to their CEO. To get more traction and attention, they tagged Forbes, the company. They tagged the CEO who got the award, and they used a popular hashtag, which is hashtag Forbes under 30, all to reach more people that follow either Forbes, follow the CEO, or follow that hashtag. Then they ended it with a call to action, inviting people to check out the CEO's profile. So those are a couple of ways to kind of make your posts more engaging and reach more people. So how do you get more followers or increase the amount of followers I have? One is optimizing your accounts. Make sure you have filled everything out. You filled out the bio, you do have images, professional images. Also make sure that the content you're posting is high quality content, good photos if you use photos. Be consistent, post on a semi-regular basis. Doesn't mean you have to post every day, but consistently posting. Get others to share your profile instead of just you sharing it. Being authentic, engaging your audience. So don't just post a bunch of sales or a bunch of ads. Do post other things as well. People come to social media for the community. They come to read interesting articles or, see fun, interesting things, not just sales ads. I like to think of keeping a 80-20 rule where 80% of your posts should be fun, engaging, interesting content, and 20% should actually be advertisements. Lastly, some recommendations. Try to create conversations. When you get on LinkedIn, comment on other people's items. They'll remember that the next time they see one of your posts. Try to use some hashtags. Try using new hashtags if you've been using them for a while. Using pictures and videos, like I said, gets a lot more engagement as well. Also, there's a lot of great tools that are available to help you with social media. One of them I mentioned earlier, although you can't schedule posts on LinkedIn, you can schedule ahead of time by using a third-party tool like Buffer or Hootsuite. These are really great if you have a lot of social media platforms as well and you don't want to post on every single one, you just want to do it one time. Google Analytics and Bandwidth and Hootsuite Analytics can also give you even more analytics than what each individual social media platform can give. If you're looking for help with like images, Canva is free and I use it all the time. VSCO and PictoChart are also helpful for making your content and images look good. Also, LinkedIn has a lot of information and a whole page dedicated to small businesses and helping you get started on LinkedIn. This first link is to that example I used earlier in the slides with Clifford Wessel. Here it goes into more depth on filling out your profile step by step. The next link that's here will take you to resources that are specific on how to grow your small business page on LinkedIn. And then this last link is a LinkedIn Learning blog where it lists courses that you can take on LinkedIn Learning. LinkedIn Learning is a collection of free courses that you can also even list on your LinkedIn profile. Now, as we wrap up, I just want to remind you that we are a center of excellence on digital transformation. So if you have further questions on this or any questions related to the digital transformation of your business, please reach out to us. We have some upcoming training events as well. Here are just a few coming up. You can also go to our website that has a full list. Are there any other questions?
Before we continue to check if there are one or two questions on board, I just want to use this opportunity to draw the attention of our attendees that I just posted a 30-second survey about today's webinar. Remember, we are Temple SPDC, we always cherish your feedbacks, even as it helps us to improve on the services we provide to you guys as a no cost. So kindly take like 30 seconds of your time to help us to fill out the survey I just posted. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That does help us a lot for improving these webinars. I'm just looking at the questions. So Sarah Analytic asked, are analytics available for both free and paid accounts? They are to a certain extent. So if you want more analytics, you would have a paid account, but there are some basic analytics you can get. Also, seems I can't find a support email or website on LinkedIn. Do you happen to know how to contact them if you are having issues restarting an inactive account? So I think there might be a link somewhere in the PowerPoint, but also if you're having issues, it is kind of like reaching out to Amazon where you can't find a phone number and email, but you could always reach out to us at Temple and I could try helping you with that if you are having trouble being linked out of your account. So you can always email us at that email and reach out that way. And you do have some analytics on a personal page. I did see that question. On the left-hand side, there are some analytics. Again, those are limited somewhat. So you can see like a few people who've looked at your account, but you can't see everyone who's looked at your account unless you get the paid version. So it is limited. And that's the chat, or that's the Q&A. Let me just check the chat box. Oh, those are you. Perfect.
I think for the chat and the Q&A, you've actually nailed all the questions that came up during the presentation, and we are kind of far behind, against our time with just 2 minutes. But before we wrap it up, I just want to use this opportunity to thank each and every one of you guys for keeping it a day with us. Thank you, Cassie, for a wonderful presentation. I personally, and I can attest to it that everything moves smoothly, and I can say this on behalf of our attendees that the presentation was superb. I love the way everything flowed, and I like the way the questions keeps coming in, and you were just nailing it. That was a good one. But before we wrap it up, I just want to use this opportunity once again to thank my wonderful Temple SPDC colleagues for their wonderful support. Without them, we wouldn't have been here, and the webinar wouldn't have come into existence. Thank you once again, and do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.